Close your eyes for a moment and picture this. $250,000, 0 cents in your bank account. Not in your dreams, not on your vision board, in your reality. The digits are there, the balance confirmed, the possibility is endless. Now open your eyes. What if I told you that it didn't take a business loan, a side hustle, or a lucky break? What if it took just a change in the way I spoke, thought, and affirmed wealth? That's all. No tricks, no scams, no magic spell. Just the discipline to speak as if I already had it, to feel as if it was already mine. And within 90 days, it was. You may be skeptical right now. You might even be laughing. How could affirmations bring in real money, you wonder? This sounds like fantasy. But isn't it true that every great change in your life started in the invisible first? Your thoughts, your beliefs, your dreams. This is no different. The only difference is, this time, you'll be using your mind on purpose. I wasn't always someone who believed in wealth affirmations. In fact, I was drowning in doubt, debt, and disbelief. I repeated what the world taught me. Money is hard to make, rich people are greedy, you have to struggle to survive. These were the mantras I didn't even realize I was chanting daily, and as a result, money stayed far from me. But something inside me refused to give up. There was this quiet whisper that said, try again, but this time speak differently. So I made a decision. For 90 days straight, I would practice wealth affirmations like my life depended on it. Not half-heartedly, not occasionally, but daily, with intensity, passion, and emotion. I wanted to test the invisible laws of the universe for myself. I wanted to see if the power that shaped worlds could also shape my bank account. Every morning, before checking my phone, I would speak affirmations like, I am wealthy beyond belief. Money flows to me from unexpected sources. My bank account grows whether I work or rest. I am a magnet for abundance. I love money and money loves me. And I didn't just say them, I felt them. I imagined the joy of financial freedom. I rehearsed the feeling of checking my account and seeing it flooded with unexpected income. I walked through life as if I already was the person who had $250,000, 0 cents. I bought nothing flashy, but I carried an invisible energy of certainty, of wealth, of ease. And here's the wild part. Opportunities started to appear. Small payments showed up, then unexpected business deals, then gifts, then investments. It wasn't one source, it was many. The universe responded to my inner state, and on the 89th day, I crossed $250,000, 0 cents. Now, I don't say this to impress you, I say this to awaken you. Because if someone like me, with no belief, no plan, no connections, can use affirmations to rewire reality, so can you. Even if you don't believe in the law yet, it will still respond to you. It always has, but it responds to the version of you that speaks as if it's already done. This isn't about lying to yourself. This is about claiming what is already yours in spirit, so it can become yours in form. Your words are the commands, your emotions are the fuel, and your imagination is the blueprint. What you consistently affirm, feel, and embody becomes your truth. So, if you're ready to stop chasing money and start attracting it, then this is for you. Let me show you exactly how I did it. Not with theories, but with experience. Not with fluff, but with precision. Because this isn't a story, it's a system. And it can work for anyone, including you. Spoke wealth into my life before I ever saw it. The first and most life-altering decision I made was to speak wealth into my life. before I ever had a dime to show for it. That may sound strange, even foolish, to someone conditioned to only believe what they can touch and count. But let me ask you this: has believing only in what you currently have ever made you rich? No, because wealth doesn't start in your hands. It starts in your words. Every word you speak is a seed, and those seeds do not fall to the ground empty. They take root in the unseen soil of your reality. When you speak poverty, you are cultivating lack. When you speak struggle, you are fertilizing delay. But when you speak money, when you declare it boldly, joyfully, and daily, you awaken forces that are already wired to serve your command. I would walk through my apartment, which at the time was barely holding itself together, and say, I am rich beyond my wildest dreams. I would look at an empty wallet and say, money finds me wherever I go. My friends thought I was delusional, but I wasn't talking to them. I was talking to the universe. And the universe listens to those who speak with certainty. You see, it's not the dollar amount in your bank account that makes you wealthy. It's the tone in your voice when you say, I am wealthy. That tone must be firm. It must be certain. It must sound like a king declaring his kingdom, or a queen affirming her throne. I stopped saying things like, I'm broke, or I can't afford that, or money doesn't grow on trees. I replaced those words with phrases that made my soul come alive. I always have more than enough. Opportunities are chasing me. I am a magnet for luxury and overflow. At first it felt fake. It felt forced. But I stayed with it. I didn't stop just because my reality looked the same. I understood that my words were painting the canvas of my future, and the paint wasn't dry yet. I trusted that what I kept saying would eventually solidify into form, and it did. Let me be clear. I didn't whisper these affirmations. I didn't mumble them once a week. I declared them daily, like a rich man who knows what's his. I would say them in the mirror. I would say them during my commute. I would say them while cooking, while walking, while brushing my teeth. I saturated my world in the vibration of money. And slowly but surely the world responded. Not all at once, but in waves. A friend paid back an old debt. A refund I wasn't expecting came in the mail. A random business idea turned into a profitable venture. It was as if money had been waiting behind a locked door. And my words were the key. If you want to become a millionaire, speak like one. Even if you have nothing. Especially if you have nothing. That's when it matters most. Speak as if the vaults of abundance are already yours. Because until you learn to talk like you're rich, you'll never live like you're rich. Treated my affirmations like sacred rituals, not casual sayings. Most people who try affirmations treat them like sticky notes on a fridge. Cute, nice to glance at, but easily forgotten. I didn't want that. I wasn't interested in playing games with my future. I wanted results. So I treated my wealth affirmations like sacred rituals, daily, focused, reverent. Like I was speaking to the divine itself. You can't speak wealth once a week and expect to shift your entire financial reality. You can't mumble affirmations for 30 seconds and think you've done the work. That's not how the energy of abundance operates. It demands repetition, intention, and most of all, feeling. I didn't just repeat wealth phrases like a robot. I breathed life into every word. Each morning, before I picked up my phone, I sat in silence and spoke my affirmations with full emotion. I visualized what I was affirming. If I said, I have $250,000, 0 cents in my account, I would see the bank screen, hear the text notification, feel the adrenaline rush in my chest. If I said, Money flows to me constantly. I imagined checks in the mail, PayPal alerts, cash gifts, surprise deposits. This wasn't a to-do list item. It was my spiritual practice. Some people pray to ask for money. I affirm to become it, even during the day. I didn't let that energy slip away. I had alerts on my phone that reminded me, say it again. I would stop what I was doing and speak a few lines like, I am open to receiving massive wealth. Money is easy, money is natural. I'm aligned with the vibration of luxury. At night, before sleeping, I returned to the altar of my imagination and planted new affirmations in the soil of my subconscious. I knew that as I slept, those seeds would grow. I didn't scroll social media in bed. I didn't flood my mind with worry. I ended each day the same way I started it, rich in my inner world. And the effect, life began to echo what I affirmed, not just financially, but emotionally. I felt more confident walking into rooms. I started seeing myself differently. I noticed how others treated me, like I was important, valuable, magnetic. Opportunities that once passed me by started seeking me out. It's as if my rituals didn't just call money, they changed me into the person who could hold it. This is what most people miss. Affirmations aren't just about attracting wealth, they're about transforming your identity. And if you do them right, consistently and with reverence, they work like compound interest. You won't just manifest a single check, you'll become the person who receives checks all the time. Treat your affirmations like sacred ceremonies. Make them non-negotiable. Speak them like your life depends on them. Because in many ways it does. A poor mouth creates a poor life. A wealthy mouth, one that speaks with belief, boldness, and authority, becomes a magnet for miracles. If you want to be a millionaire, you must first act like your words are worth millions, because they are. Train my emotions to match my desired reality. Here's the truth many people skip over. The universe does not respond to your words alone. It responds to the emotional frequency behind those words. And so, when I began speaking affirmations, I quickly realized that words without feeling were just noise. They had no voltage, no magnetic pull, no creation power. I had to train my emotions to match the wealth I was claiming. This wasn't easy at first. How do you feel like a millionaire when your bank account is laughing at you? How do you feel rich when your fridge is half empty and your bills are late? That's where most people give up. But I didn't. Because I understood that my feelings were the thermostat. If I could set them high, no matter what reality looked like, reality would have to rise and meet them. So every time I said I am rich, I acted like it. Not by spending recklessly, but by feeling the way a rich person feels. Calm, certain, grateful, relaxed. I asked myself daily, how would I feel if the $250,000, 0 cents, was already mine? And then I practiced that feeling like it was my full-time job. I closed my eyes and imagined the freedom. I felt the weight lift off my shoulders. I smiled like someone who no longer had to check price tags. I let the warmth of wealth flood my body, not just mentally, but physically. I trained my emotions like an athlete trains muscles, consistently, intentionally, and with repetition. And here's the key. I didn't wait for the money to feel this way. I decided to feel this way first. Because emotions are not reactions, they are instructions. The universe listens to your emotional tone like a GPS signal. If you're vibrating scarcity, you will attract more lack. But if you can broadcast wealth, even while surrounded by bills, something begins to shift. One day I was doing my affirmations and I felt a breakthrough, a real emotional high. I said, money is coming to me now. And I suddenly burst into laughter. not because anything had arrived, but because something within me had shifted. I believed it. I knew it. And from that day forward, small miracles began unfolding rapidly. Clients I hadn't heard from in years reached out. An investment matured early. A family member gifted me an amount out of nowhere. Each time, I didn't react with shock. I responded with gratitude, because I had already felt it before I ever saw it. To become a millionaire, you must practice millionaire emotions. You must rehearse the joy of freedom, the confidence of overflow, the peace of knowing you're always provided for. This is not pretending. This is aligning. You are not faking a better life. You are creating the emotional foundation on which it will be built. If you only feel wealthy when the money shows up, you're reacting, not creating. But if you choose to feel it now, consistently, even in the silence, even in the lack, then the money must follow. Because emotion is the evidence of belief, and belief is what bends reality in your favor. Train your emotions, live inside the feeling of already having what you want. Because that feeling is the bridge between imagination and manifestation. Walked through life as if I already had the money. I made a bold decision early on in my 90-day journey. I would walk, talk, think, and behave as if the money was already mine. I didn't care if it felt ridiculous. I didn't care if others mocked me. I was done waiting for results before changing my energy. I chose to embody wealth before the world gave me permission. This was not about acting fake. It was about practicing a deeper truth. You see, reality doesn't shape you. You shape reality. And how? By the state you live in. So I stepped into the state of someone who had already received the $250,000. 0 cents. When I entered a room, I carried myself differently. My shoulders were back. My walk was confident. I spoke slower, with more calm. Not arrogance, certainty. Because wealth isn't loud, it's not desperate. It doesn't chase, it attracts. I began to live from that place. I didn't rush, I didn't beg, I didn't plead with the universe. I assumed the posture of someone who already had what they wanted. And you know what happened? People started treating me differently. Conversations shifted. Respect increased. Opportunities flowed in. Because energy doesn't lie. The world responds to who you believe you are, not who you claim to be. This approach changed everything. I stopped talking about what I couldn't afford. I stopped entertaining worry. I stopped being available for lack. I made choices as if I was managing abundance, not reckless spending, but wise stewardship. When I gave from the overflow in my spirit, not from fear of running out. When I received, I didn't act shocked, I acted thankful. Because that was my new normal. Even when no money had arrived yet, I moved like it was already on the way. I didn't check my bank account obsessively. I didn't live on edge. I carried the energy of someone already funded by life. Because I knew if I could maintain that vibration long enough, reality had to mirror it. One evening, I was invited to a dinner I couldn't technically afford, but something told me to go. So I dressed in my best, walked in with gratitude, and enjoyed every second as if I belonged there. That night I met someone who introduced me to a contact that led to a project worth thousands. Had I stayed home, thinking small, that door never opens. You must understand this truth. The universe doesn't reward need, it rewards identity. And identity is expressed through movement, through posture, through tone, through choices. I wasn't waiting to be rich to feel rich. I made being rich my starting point. Internally, and the external followed. If you want to become a millionaire, stop acting like someone waiting to become one. Start behaving like it's already done. Speak with certainty. Move with clarity. Make decisions from abundance. When you do, the world stops seeing you as a seeker and starts responding to you as a creator. Your reality is not waiting to deliver proof. It's waiting for you to live like the proof already exists. Protected my mind from poverty conversations and influences. There's a quiet poison that leaks into your financial life every day, and most people drink it without knowing. That poison is poverty thinking, and it hides in everyday conversations, media, relationships, and even jokes. When I decided to manifest $250,000, 0 cents in 90 days, one of the most radical steps I took wasn't just about what I did. It was about what I stopped allowing into my mind. You can't speak wealth in the morning, then gossip about lack in the afternoon and expect results. The mind is too powerful, too impressionable. If you feed it messages of limitation, no amount of affirmations will override the noise. So I became extremely protective of my mental diet. I cut out every conversation, every piece of content, every influence that even hinted at scarcity. That meant walking away from small talk that revolved around complaints, hard times, and rising prices. That meant muting the news that screamed fear and financial collapse. That meant turning down hangouts with people who viewed wealth as suspicious or unattainable. I didn't judge them, but I chose me. I began filtering every word I heard through a question. Does this speak to the future I'm building or the past I'm leaving? If it didn't align with wealth, abundance, or possibility, I rejected it. Not because I was better, but because I was becoming someone wealth would recognize. You cannot expect to live in overflow while swimming in conversations of shortage. Energy is contagious, and poverty is louder than you think. It shows up in sarcasm, in casual talk like must be nice, or some people have all the luck. Every time you agree with that energy, you push wealth further away, not because money is offended, but because you are stepping out of alignment. Elevate yourself. Elevate yourself, and you will find the elevation that belongs to all. I replaced those voices with better ones. I listened to people who talked about expansion. I watched content that normalized success. I surrounded myself with voices that expected abundance. Even if I didn't have access to wealthy people personally, I found their ideas in books, in interviews, in audio recordings. I built a fortress of prosperity around my mind, and something powerful happened. My standards changed. I no longer accepted the language of limitation. I stopped laughing at broke jokes. I stopped agreeing with struggle. I no longer flinched at the word millions. I embraced it. And because my mind shifted, my life followed. You may think it's not a big deal to engage in small talk, but when your words are building your future, everything you say becomes sacred. You're either moving closer to the life you want or reinforcing the one you're trying to escape. If you want to become a millionaire, treat your mind like a vault. Don't let anything inside that would rob you of your vision. Don't let doubt, sarcasm, or fear set up camp. You're not just rewiring thoughts, you're building a new frequency. And that frequency needs silence, focus, and protection to grow. Guard your mind, starve the voice of lack, amplify the voice of abundance. Your wealth is too important to be negotiated in casual conversations with people who have no vision. Celebrated small signs without desperation. In the early days of my 90-day wealth manifestation journey, I knew I had to become someone who didn't just want money. I had to become someone who trusted it was coming, no matter how slowly or quickly. That required patience. That required detachment. And more than anything, that required the ability to celebrate small signs without turning desperate for bigger ones. One of the greatest mistakes I see people make is this. They ask for abundance, and when something small shows up, a $20, 0 cents refund, a discount, a free meal, they say, "That's not what I wanted," and dismiss it. But that reaction sends the worst message to the universe. I'm not grateful unless I get exactly what I want. And that mindset blocks more from coming. I did the opposite. I celebrated everything, the smallest income, the tiniest win, even the energy of abundance showing up in symbolic ways. If I found a coin on the street, I whispered, "Thank you." If someone complimented me, I said, "Yes, I received that." If I felt joyful for no reason, I knew I was in alignment, and I held on to that feeling like gold. Why? Because money is not just paper, it is energy. And energy multiplies where it is appreciated. I trained myself to recognize every sign, every movement, every shift, because they were proof that my affirmations were working even before the full manifestation arrived. There was a day I received an unexpected $100, 0 cents, for helping a friend with a small task. It wasn't a fortune, but I treated it like the beginning of the $250,000 0 cents. I didn't say, "That's it." I said, "This is it. The current has begun." That one shift in attitude kept me in a place of joy, which kept me in a place of alignment, which kept the doors open for more. Desperation is a signal that you don't believe. And when you're desperate, your affirmations become noise instead of power. But when you're grateful, relaxed, and celebratory, you magnetize wealth like a natural force. I imagined it like this. Every time I celebrated a small win, I was saying to the universe, "I see what you're doing, and I'm ready for more." I was becoming someone who was ready to receive, not needing to chase. That energetic posture changes everything. So when $1,000, 0 cents, showed up from a business idea I had left dormant, I didn't scream in panic. I nodded with confidence. When I got invited to a paid speaking gig out of nowhere, I didn't question if I deserved it. I knew it was a result of alignment. These weren't coincidences, they were confirmations. By the time the larger amounts began flowing in, I wasn't surprised. I was calibrated. I had been rehearsing celebration, gratitude, and trust for weeks. I had been vibrating in the state of already blessed. So when the blessing appeared, it felt like an echo, not a miracle. If you want to become a millionaire, learn to treat every small sign like a divine receipt, a receipt that says your order is being fulfilled. Don't roll your eyes when it comes slowly. Don't throw tantrums when it's not in your hands yet. Smile, rejoice, say thank you. That's how you stay connected to the river of wealth. And once you're in that flow, it only gets stronger. I believed that the universe had no choice but to obey my inner state. This last point is the most essential key, and it's the one that transformed everything for me. I made a quiet, unshakable decision. The universe had no choice but to obey the state I lived in. Not the emotions I visited once a day, not the affirmations I said here and there, but the state I occupied, consistently, deliberately, as if it was already my identity. Once I decided to live in the state of wealth is mine, everything began to organize around that vibration. It wasn't about controlling the outer world, it was about becoming immovable in my inner world. No matter what the bank balance said, no matter what bills arrived, no matter what temporary lack tried to whisper doubt, I stood firm in the knowing I am rich, and my world is catching up to it. You must understand something critical. Your inner state is the blueprint from which the universe builds your experiences. It mirrors not your begging, not your hoping, not your desperation, but your assumption. And I assumed that wealth was mine. I didn't wait to be convinced by results. I convinced myself so deeply that the results had to appear. This wasn't arrogance. This was spiritual authority. There is a divine law that governs all creation. You become what you accept as true. And once I accepted $250,000, 0 cents is already mine, the law took over. I didn't chase, I didn't beg, I allowed, I received. I lived in the inner truth that said, this is already done. And that belief gave the universe its marching order. Most people live in the state of I hope. They hope the money comes. They hope the affirmations work. They hope something will shift. But hope is weak if it isn't rooted in assumption. I didn't hope for wealth. I embodied wealth. And because I embodied it, I became a command, not a request. I visualized this state like wearing a suit. I put on wealth like clothing. I didn't take it off when I was around skeptical people. I didn't hide it when things got slow. I kept it on everywhere I went. I carried myself in a vibration that said, money knows where I live. And sure enough, it found me. The people who saw me during that time said, you look like something's changed. They didn't know what it was, but I did. I had changed states. I had stopped being someone trying to get money and became someone who had it. That shift made me magnetic. It made me powerful. It made me a match to the thing I desired. This is the secret that will always separate those who manifest big money and those who only dream about it. The former assume it's already theirs, and the world responds to that assumption with perfect precision. The latter wait for signs before believing, and the signs never come because belief must come first. The universe doesn't care about your past. It doesn't care how broke you've been, how long you've struggled, or how much you think you failed. It only listens to your dominant inner tone. And when that tone says, I am wealthy, consistently, confidently, and unapologetically, it bends everything in your reality to match it. So I made the state of wealth my permanent home. I didn't visit it occasionally. I lived there. I paid mental rent with my focus. I decorated the walls with rich thoughts. I made peace my furniture and gratitude my front door. And once I lived in that state long enough, reality had no choice but to knock with the $250,000 0 cents I had already claimed in spirit. And now you know the truth. I didn't manifest $250,000 0 cents in 90 days. By luck or accident or magic, I manifested it by law. A law that is invisible but infallible. A law that does not respond to your struggle but to your state. I changed my words. I disciplined my emotions. I shifted my posture. I guarded my mind. I celebrated every sign, and most importantly, I assumed it was already done. And it was. Now I pass this truth to you, not as a theory, but as a testimony. If you're willing to live as if your success is inevitable, if you're willing to treat your inner world like sacred ground, if you're ready to believe before you see, then wealth will have no choice but to arrive. It will knock on your door like an old friend. It will appear in ways you can't predict but will always recognize. This speech is not entertainment, it is a mirror. And if you see yourself in it, if something in you has stirred, then take it seriously. Begin now. Speak like it's done. Feel like it's done. Walk like it's done. Because once your inner world believes, your outer world must obey. Your money is already waiting. It's not in the future, it's in your state. Live there, and you will receive it. Prayer is not a plea, nor is it an act of desperation. It is not about asking for something outside of yourself to intervene or provide. True prayer is the assumption that what you desire already exists here and now. It is the art of feeling your wish fulfilled and knowing with unwavering certainty that it is so. You are not separate from the power that creates, you are one with it. To pray effectively, you must move beyond words. Words are mere symbols, they cannot carry the full depth of belief or conviction. Instead, prayer is an act of imagination, a quiet and confident knowing. Close your eyes and step into the state of already having what you seek. Feel it as real as you feel the chair beneath you or the ground under your feet. Touch it in your mind, see it with clarity, and most importantly, allow yourself to feel the emotions you would feel if it were already done. It is not enough to wish or hope. Hope suggests separation, it implies the thing you desire is still apart from you. True prayer knows no separation. It dissolves all barriers and claims the fulfillment now. When you pray, you must abandon the old version of yourself that is longing or lacking and embody the version of yourself that has already received. In this state, you do not beg, you rest in assurance. You do not look outward for evidence, you trust in the unseen. For the unseen is the cause of all that is seen. Doubt has no place in this process. To doubt is to waver, and to waver is to delay. Prayer requires faith, a faith so deep that even if all logic and reason contradict it, you remain unmoved. Faith is not blind, it is the conviction born from inner experience. You pray not to convince some higher power to grant your wish, but to align yourself with the truth that your desire is already yours. Feel gratitude as though it has already happened. Gratitude is the language of completion, the vibration that resonates with fulfillment. It says to the universe, thank you, for it is done. When you embody this gratitude, you align yourself with the reality you wish to experience. It is no longer something you hope for, it becomes your present state of being. There is no power outside of you, it all begins and ends within. You are the creator of your experience, and prayer is your tool to mold the unseen into the seen. Pray as though it is already done, for in truth it already is. You are simply awakening to it. To pray as though it is already done is to recognize that the source of creation resides within you. It is not a matter of reaching outward to grasp at possibilities, but a matter of turning inward to the limitless power that has always been yours. Creation begins in the mind and is felt in the heart. This is where prayer becomes more than a ritual or routine. It becomes a living, breathing reality, one that aligns you with the infinite possibilities that lie within your consciousness. Your imagination is the key, for imagination is the gateway to creation. When you pray, you must see yourself in the state you desire, as clearly as you see the world around you. Let every detail of this imagined scene come to life within you. If it is love you seek, feel the warmth of being loved. If it is success, feel the confidence and satisfaction that comes with achieving it. If it is health, feel the vitality and strength coursing through your body. Whatever it is, you must immerse yourself fully in the experience of having it now. Do not allow yourself to be a distant observer, become the central figure in this imagined reality. Be there, living it, breathing it, feeling it as real as the air around you. The power of prayer lies not in its complexity, but in its simplicity. It does not require elaborate words or formal gestures. All it requires is your ability to believe, to feel, and to surrender to the truth that your desire is already fulfilled. This is why prayer is not limited to a specific time or place. It is a state of being that you carry with you. Whether you are sitting in silence, walking through the world, or lying in bed at night, you can pray. You can step into the feeling of your wish fulfilled and dwell there, knowing that this inner state will shape your outer reality. Doubt and fear are the only obstacles to effective prayer, and they arise from the mistaken belief that the power to create lies outside of you. When you pray with doubt, you send mixed signals to the creative force within. You waver between believing and disbelieving. between trusting and questioning. But prayer demands certainty. It demands that you let go of all doubt and fully embrace the reality you have chosen to create. This is not an act of arrogance, but a faith that knows the unseen is as real as the seen, and that what you assume inwardly will manifest outwardly. To pray effectively, you must train your mind to focus on the end result rather than the means to achieve it. Do not concern yourself with how your desire will come to pass. The how is not your responsibility, it is the work of the infinite intelligence within you. Your role is to remain steadfast in your assumption that it is already done. The moment you begin to worry about the steps or doubt the process, you interfere with the natural flow of creation. Trust that the power within you knows the way, even when you cannot see it. Trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if it does not yet appear so. Gratitude is the language of prayer, for it affirms that your desire is already yours. When you pray with gratitude, you shift your focus from lack to abundance. You stop looking at what is missing and start appreciating what already exists, both within you and in the world around you. This shift in perspective is powerful, for it aligns you with the frequency of your desire. Gratitude is not something you force, it is something you feel deeply and sincerely. It arises naturally when you recognize the truth that your wish is already fulfilled. Let your heart overflow with gratitude, and let that gratitude be your prayer. In prayer, you must be unwavering. Once you have assumed the feeling of your wish fulfilled, do not return to the old state of lack or longing. Do not allow the outer world to dictate your inner state. If you pray for abundance but continue to feel poor, or if you pray for love but continue to feel unloved, you are contradicting your prayer. You must remain faithful to the state of having, even when the evidence around you suggests otherwise. This is the true test of faith: to believe in the unseen, to hold fast to your inner conviction, and to trust that what you have assumed will inevitably come to pass. It is not enough to pray for a moment and then return to your old ways of thinking and feeling. Prayer must become a way of life. It must become the foundation upon which you build your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. When you pray, you are planting a seed in the fertile soil of your mind. But just as a seed requires time to grow, so does your prayer require time to manifest. Do not dig up the seed with doubt or impatience. Water it with faith, nourish it with gratitude, and trust that it will bloom in its own perfect time. The key to prayer is persistence. Even if the outer world seems unchanged, do not lose heart. Keep returning to the feeling of your wish fulfilled over and over again. Make it your dwelling place, your home. Let it become so real to you that the outer world pales in comparison. This is not escapism, it is creation. The more you live in the reality of your prayer, the more powerfully you draw it into your experience. Prayer is not about changing the world around you. It is about changing the world within you. When you change your inner state, the outer world must conform to it. This is the law of creation, the law that governs all things. When you pray as though it is already done, you align yourself with this law. You step into the role of creator, knowing that your thoughts and feelings are the blueprint for your reality. The act of prayer is a sacred act, for it is the recognition of your divine nature. It is the acknowledgement that you are not separate from the source of all creation, but one with it. When you pray as though it is already done, you honor this truth. You step into your role as a co-creator with the infinite, knowing that your desires are not random or insignificant, but a reflection of the creative power within you. Every prayer, when done with conviction, is answered. The answer may not come in the way you expect or at the time you desire, but it will come. Trust this process. Trust that the universe is always conspiring in your favor, even when it seems otherwise. Trust that your prayer is heard and that the fulfillment is already on its way to you. Continue to pray as though it is already done, for in the realm of the unseen it truly is. By living in the end, by feeling the fulfillment of your desire now, you collapse the gap between what is and what will be. You bring the future into the present and make the invisible visible. This is the power of prayer, the power that lies within you, waiting to be awakened. You need only believe, feel, and trust. It is already done. To live as though your prayer is already fulfilled is to step into the profound understanding that you are the creator of your reality. There is no separation between what you desire and what you are. The very act of desiring is the recognition of your power to bring it forth. When you pray as if it is already done, you align yourself with the truth that creation is finished and everything you seek is already within you. This understanding is not a theory or concept, it is a lived experience. It is a shift in consciousness that allows you to see the world not as it appears, but as it truly is, a reflection of your inner state. The process of prayer is not bound by time or space. When you pray, you are not waiting for something to happen in the future, you are stepping into the reality of it happening now. This requires a complete detachment from the linear concept of time. In the realm of creation, there is no later or someday, there is only the eternal now. You must feel your prayer as real in this moment, not as something you hope will come to pass, but as something that already exists. This feeling is the bridge between your inner world and the outer manifestation. It is the seed that, once planted, will grow into the reality you seek. Doubt, fear, and impatience are the enemies of effective prayer. They arise from the mistaken belief that what you desire is separate from you, and that you must strive or struggle to obtain it. But true prayer requires none of this. It is not an act of effort but of surrender. You must let go of the need to control the outcome and trust in the unseen power that governs all things. This power does not fail. It does not question or hesitate. It simply responds to your state of being. If you remain steadfast in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, it will inevitably come to pass. The outer world will often test your faith. You may encounter circumstances that seem to contradict your prayer, and it is in these moments that your conviction must remain unshaken. Do not allow appearances to dictate your inner state. Remember, the outer world is but a shadow of your inner reality. It has no power over you unless you give it power. When faced with challenges, return to the feeling of your prayer fulfilled. Close your eyes, quiet your mind, and immerse yourself once more in the reality of your desire. In doing so, you reclaim your power and reaffirm your faith in the unseen. The journey of prayer is not always an easy one. It requires discipline, focus, and a willingness to let go of old patterns of thought. But the rewards are immeasurable. When you pray as though it is already done, you transcend the limitations of the physical world and step into the infinite possibilities of the spiritual realm. You become a vessel for the creative force of the universe, a co-creator with the divine. This is not a privilege reserved for a select few, it is the birthright of every human being. You are not powerless, nor are you a victim of circumstance. You are the master of your destiny, the architect of your reality. Gratitude is more than a practice, it is a state of being. To live in gratitude is to live in the recognition that all you desire is already yours. When you cultivate gratitude, you shift your focus from what is missing to what is present. This shift in focus is transformative, for it changes your vibration and aligns you with the frequency of your desire. Gratitude is the bridge that takes you from longing to fulfillment, from wanting to having. Let it permeate every aspect of your prayer and your life. One of the greatest challenges in prayer is releasing the need for control. The human mind often seeks to dictate the how and when of manifestation, but this is not your role. Your role is to assume the feeling of the end, to live in the joy and peace of your fulfilled prayer. The details are not your concern, they are the domain of the unseen power that orchestrates all things. Trust in this power. Let go of the need to manipulate circumstances and focus instead on maintaining your inner state. In doing so, you create the space for miracles to occur. The act of prayer transforms not only your outer reality but your inner being. As you embody the state of your fulfilled desire, you become a new person. Old habits, beliefs, and limitations fall away, replaced by a sense of possibility and empowerment. Prayer is not just about receiving what you desire, it is about becoming the person who already has it. This transformation is the true gift of prayer, a gift that no external circumstance can take away. You are not separate from the divine power that answers your prayer. It is not something outside of you granting or withholding your desires. It is within you, responding to your every thought and feeling. When you pray as though it is already done, you awaken to this truth. You realize that you are both the creator and the creation, the seeker and the sought. This realization is liberating, for it places the power to change your life firmly in your hands. As you continue on this journey of prayer, remember that you are not alone. The same power that moves the stars and shapes the tides is working in and through you. Trust in this power. Lean into it. Let it guide you and sustain you. When doubt arises, return to the feeling of your prayer fulfilled. When challenges appear, see them as opportunities to deepen your faith. When the outer world seems unyielding, remember that it is but a shadow of your inner state. Prayer is the language of the soul, the bridge between the finite and the infinite. It is a sacred act, not of asking, but of knowing. When you pray as though it is already done, you step into the flow of creation and claim your rightful place as a co-creator with the divine. This is your power, your gift, your destiny. Use it wisely, use it boldly, and use it with love. Everything you desire is already yours. Know this, feel this, and live this. It is done. Your prayer is a declaration, a powerful act of aligning yourself with the life you wish to experience. It is the conscious claiming of a truth that exists, not in the future, but in the present. This understanding is vital because the moment you place your desire in the realm of someday, you affirm its absence in the now. True prayer does not look to the future. True prayer brings the future into the present, transforming what is hoped for into what is lived. The feeling is the secret. The quality of feeling you cultivate determines the quality of your manifestation. If you pray while feeling desperate, you create more of that desperation. If you pray while feeling doubt, you amplify uncertainty. But if you pray from a place of peace, joy, and gratitude, your world will reflect those qualities. It is not enough to visualize or affirm your desire, you must embody it. Feel the warmth of success. Feel the love of answered prayers. Let these feelings become so real within you that they saturate every fiber of your being. Time, as you perceive it, is an illusion that often complicates the simplicity of prayer. The human mind is conditioned to see events as unfolding in a linear sequence, where the cause precedes the effect. But prayer operates outside of this construct. In the spiritual dimension, the moment you assume something is true, it is. The appearance of time is simply the process by which the unseen becomes seen. Do not be discouraged if your senses tell you otherwise. Stand firm in your faith, knowing that the fulfillment is already complete in the realm of the unseen. The act of prayer is not about convincing a higher power to intervene on your behalf. It is about convincing yourself of the reality of your desire. You must convince yourself so completely that no contrary evidence can shake your belief. This conviction is not arrogance, it is a humble recognition of your divine nature. It is the acknowledgement that you and the source of creation are one, working in perfect harmony to bring forth the life you desire. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, whispering that your efforts are in vain. These moments are a natural part of the human experience, but they are not the truth. Doubt arises from the old state of being, the one you are leaving behind. Do not fight it, for resistance only gives it strength. Instead, observe it with compassion and gently return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Doubt has no power over you unless you choose to believe in it. Imagination is the workshop of creation. It is through imagination that you construct the blueprint of your desired reality. But imagination must be accompanied by feeling. To simply see the image of your desire is not enough, you must feel it as though it is already true. When you close your eyes and imagine, let your heart swell with the emotions of fulfillment. Let your body relax into the peace of having received. This union of imagination and feeling is the key to unlocking the treasures of your prayer. Do not concern yourself with the opinions of others. The path of prayer is a deeply personal one, and its truths are often misunderstood by those who are still bound by the limitations of the senses. They may question your conviction, doubt your faith, or dismiss your experiences. Let their words pass by like the wind, for they have no bearing on the reality you are creating. Hold steadfast to your inner knowing, and let your results speak for themselves. Your attention is a precious resource, and where you place it determines the quality of your life. Prayer is at its core the art of focused attention. It is the deliberate choice to place your awareness on the reality you wish to experience, rather than the reality you see before you. This does not mean ignoring your current circumstances, it means recognizing them as temporary reflections of your past state of mind. By shifting your attention to the feeling of your fulfilled prayer, you begin to draw that reality into being. Gratitude is a powerful amplifier of prayer. When you give thanks for something as though it has already been received, you create a vibration that aligns you with its fulfillment. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from longing to having. It opens your heart and mind to the infinite possibilities of creation. Even if your outer world has not yet caught up with your inner reality, act as though it has. Say thank you with genuine feeling, and watch as the world mirrors your gratitude. Let go of the need to control the how and when of your prayer's fulfillment. The human mind, with its limited perspective, often tries to dictate the details of manifestation. But the power that answers your prayer operates beyond your understanding. Trust in its wisdom. Trust that it knows the perfect way to bring your desire into form. Your role is not to micromanage the process, but to maintain the state of fulfillment. Release the burden of control and rest in the assurance that all is unfolding in divine order. Life will inevitably present you with tests of faith. These are not obstacles but opportunities to strengthen your conviction. When faced with circumstances that seem contrary to your prayer, see them as reminders of the old state of being that is dissolving. Do not react with fear or frustration. Instead, reaffirm your new state of being. Stand firm in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and let the outer world adjust to your inner truth. Prayer is not a passive act, it is an active engagement with the creative process of life. It requires discipline, focus, and commitment. But it is also a joyful practice, one that fills your heart with hope and your soul with peace. Approach it with a sense of wonder and curiosity, knowing that you are participating in the great mystery of existence. Each prayer is a step on the journey of becoming, a journey that reveals the limitless potential within you. The fulfillment of your prayer is not the end of the journey, but the beginning of a new chapter. With each answered prayer, you expand your understanding of what is possible. You begin to see that the limitations you once believed in were illusions, created by your own mind. You realize that there is no end to what you can create, no boundary to what you can experience. This is the true gift of prayer, not just the manifestation of your desires, but the awakening to your infinite nature. As you continue to pray, let your life become a living testimony to the power of this practice. Let your words, actions, and presence reflect the truth of your fulfilled prayers. Inspire others not through persuasion, but through the example of your life. Show them what is possible when one lives in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Be a beacon of light, a reminder that we are all creators of our reality. In the quiet moments of your day, return to the feeling of your prayer fulfilled. Let it become your resting state, the foundation upon which you build your life. With each breath, reaffirm your conviction. With each thought, align with your desire. With each step, move as though your prayer is already answered. This is how you pray as though it is already done. This is how you awaken to the truth of your being. All that you desire is already within you. It has been waiting for you to claim it, to step into the fullness of your power. The journey of prayer is not one of reaching outward, but of turning inward. It is a journey of remembering who you are and what you are capable of. Trust in this process. Trust in yourself. And most importantly, trust that it is already done. The power to transform your life lies within you. Prayer is not about pleading or hoping, it is about knowing. Knowing that what you seek is already yours. The world will mirror the state of your inner being, for that is the law of creation. You are not separate from the fulfillment of your desires, you are one with it. The moment you embody the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you shift reality itself. So let this truth settle deeply into your heart. You are the creator of your experience. Do not wait for the world to change before you believe. Believe first, feel it now, and watch as the unseen becomes seen. Refuse to let doubt or fear sway you. Stand firmly in the conviction that it is already done. The power that creates universes is within you, waiting to be awakened. Align with it. Trust it. Live as if your prayers are already answered, and they will be. You are more powerful than you've been led to believe, and your life is the proof of your faith. Walk boldly, dream freely, and pray like it's already done, because it is. Gratitude is the cornerstone of effective prayer. When you feel gratitude for something, you affirm its presence in your life. You shift your focus from lack to abundance, from longing to fulfillment. Gratitude is not merely a polite gesture or a fleeting emotion. It is a state of being. It is the recognition that all you desire is already yours. When you pray with gratitude, you align yourself with the frequency of your desire and open the door for it to manifest in your experience. Let gratitude be your constant companion, not only in moments of prayer, but in every moment of your life. To pray as though it is already done is to live in the end. It is to see yourself not as someone who is hoping or wishing, but as someone who is already living the reality they desire. This requires a radical shift in perspective. You must stop identifying with the version of yourself that is lacking and start identifying with the version of yourself that is abundant, loved, successful, or healthy. This shift is not a denial of your current circumstances, but a recognition of your power to transcend them. You are not defined by your past or your present. You are defined by the vision you hold of yourself. Imagination is your most powerful tool in prayer. It is through imagination that you create the blueprint for your desired reality. But imagination alone is not enough. It must be coupled with feeling. The feeling is the substance, the energy that brings your vision to life. Without feeling, your imagination is a lifeless picture. When you pray, let your feelings be vivid and intense. Feel the joy, the peace, the excitement, or the relief that comes with the fulfillment of your desire. Let these feelings saturate your entire being. This is the language of the universe, the vibration that calls your desire into existence. Faith is the foundation upon which all prayer is built. It is the knowing that what you desire is already yours, even when there is no physical evidence to support it. Faith is not blind. It is the inner certainty that rises from your connection to the creative power within you. This power does not require proof or validation. It simply responds to your belief. When you pray with faith, you align yourself with this power and activate its limitless potential. Faith is the bridge between the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown. It is the key that unlocks the door to infinite possibility. The act of prayer is not separate from the rest of your life. It is an integral part of your daily experience. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, and every word you speak is a form of prayer. You are constantly creating, whether you are aware of it or not. The question is not whether you are praying, but what you are praying for. Are you focusing on lack, fear, and doubt, or are you focusing on abundance, love, and faith? Your reality is a mirror of your dominant thoughts and feelings. To change your reality, you must change your prayer. Persistence is essential in prayer. You may not see immediate results, but this does not mean your prayer has gone unanswered. The process of creation takes time, and you must remain patient and steadfast. Do not allow temporary setbacks to discourage you. Trust that your prayer is working even when it seems as though nothing is happening. The unseen forces of the universe are always at work, rearranging circumstances, opening doors, and guiding you toward the fulfillment of your desire. Your role is to remain faithful, to continue feeling the reality of your prayer, and to trust in the divine timing of its manifestation. The power of prayer lies not in the words you speak, but in the state of being you embody. It is not about convincing a higher power to grant your wish, but about aligning yourself with the truth that your wish is already granted. Prayer is an act of communion with the divine, a recognition of your oneness with the source of all creation. When you pray as though it is already done, you step into this oneness and claim your rightful place as a co-creator with the infinite. Let your prayer be a celebration, not a struggle. Celebrate the reality of your desire as though it is already here. Feel the joy, the gratitude, and the peace that comes with its fulfillment. Let this feeling be your prayer, your offering to the universe. In doing so, you create a resonance that cannot be ignored. The universe will respond to your vibration, and your desire will become your reality. This is the law of creation, the law that governs all things. It is unchanging, unfailing, and always at work. Trust in this law and trust in your power to use it. You are not separate from the power you seek. You are the power. Your prayer is not an act of reaching outward, but of turning inward. It is the recognition that everything you desire already exists within you. When you pray as though it is already done, you awaken to this truth. You step into the reality of your desire and bring it forth into the world. This is the essence of prayer, the essence of creation. It is not about asking, it is about knowing. It is not about hoping, it is about being. It is not about waiting. Prayer is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the spiritual and the physical. It is the means by which you transform your inner world and, in doing so, transform the outer world. When you pray as though it is already done, you align yourself with the infinite possibilities of the universe. You step into your power as a creator and claim the reality you desire. This is your birthright, your destiny, and your greatest gift. Use it wisely, use it faithfully, and use it with love. It is already done. So be it. The essence of prayer is not rooted in pleading or asking, but in assuming and accepting. To live in the fulfillment of your prayer means that you must embody the truth of it here and now. Each moment is an opportunity to solidify the belief that what you desire has already been accomplished. When you walk as though the reality you seek is unfolding beneath your feet. When you speak, let your words reflect the joy and gratitude of a wish fulfilled. Let no part of your mind waver, for it is this unwavering conviction that transforms the invisible into the visible. Your inner conversations are among the most powerful aspects of prayer. What you say to yourself in the quiet moments of your day reflects the state of your belief. If you continue to dwell on doubt, fear, or frustration, you reinforce the separation between you and your desire. However, if you choose to imagine conversations that align with your fulfilled wish, you begin to weave a new reality. In these internal dialogues, hear the voices of others congratulating you, celebrating your success, acknowledging your transformation. These imagined moments, repeated with feeling and certainty, shape the reality you eventually come to experience. The state of mind you carry when you fall asleep is a sacred doorway into creation. Your subconscious mind, uncritical and receptive, takes what you feel to be true at the end of the day and works tirelessly to bring it to fruition. Before you sleep, dwell not on the struggles or challenges of the day, but on the vivid feeling of your desire fulfilled. Let your last thought before sleep be one of gratitude, peace, and joy for having received what you seek. In this state, your prayer continues its work even as you rest. Do not confuse a delay of manifestation with denial. The physical world operates on a different timeline than the spiritual. Seeds planted in the fertile ground of belief and feeling take time to grow. When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up the next day to see if it is sprouting. Instead, you water it, nourish it, and trust in its natural progression. In the same way, your prayers require trust and patience. Know that every thought and feeling aligned with your fulfilled desire is feeding its growth, even if you cannot yet see the results. Challenges and obstacles may arise as you hold to your prayer. These are not signs of failure, but opportunities to deepen your faith. Life has a way of testing your conviction, bringing forth circumstances that seem contrary to your desires. These moments are not to be feared or resisted, but embraced. They are reminders of the old state of being that you are leaving behind. When faced with such moments, return to the feeling of your fulfilled prayer. Rest in the certainty that your inner reality will eventually overtake the outer one. Let the storms of doubt pass without uprooting the seeds you have planted. When you begin to live as though your prayer is already answered, you will notice subtle shifts in your world. Opportunities will arise, relationships will transform, and synchronicities will occur, all pointing toward the realization of your desire. These are the whispers of creation, the signs that your inner world is reshaping the outer. Pay attention to these signs, but do not become overly attached to them. They are not the fulfillment itself, but indicators of its inevitable arrival. Keep your focus on the feeling of the end, trusting that everything else is falling into place. Imagination and faith are the twin pillars of creative prayer. Your imagination gives form to your desires while your faith breathes life into them. Together, they form a bridge between the seen and unseen. Do not let the practicalities of life diminish your capacity to imagine boldly and believe deeply. Remember, the world you see around you was once imagined by someone who dared to believe in its possibility. You are no different. The same creative power flows through you, waiting to be directed by your imagination and strengthened by your faith. The words you speak to others also carry creative power. Speak not of your worries or complaints, for they only magnify the experience of lack. Instead, let your words affirm the reality you wish to see. Speak as though your prayer has already been answered, not only in your private moments, but in your interactions with others. Let your confidence and certainty inspire those around you. When you declare your fulfilled state to the world, you send out a powerful vibration that reinforces your prayer and accelerates its manifestation. Prayer is not limited to specific moments or rituals. It is a continuous process that unfolds throughout your day. Every thought, every emotion, every choice you make is a form of prayer, a declaration of what you believe to be true. Take care then to guard your thoughts and feelings, to ensure they align with the reality you wish to create. This does not mean suppressing negative emotions but transforming them. When doubt arises, remind yourself of your power. When fear creeps in, return to the feeling of love and trust. Every moment is an opportunity to realign with your prayer. Gratitude is more than a practice. It is a state of being. To live in gratitude is to live in the recognition that all you desire is already yours. When you cultivate gratitude, you shift your focus from what is missing to what is present. This shift in focus is transformative, for it changes your vibration and aligns you with the frequency of your desire. Gratitude is the bridge that takes you from longing to fulfillment, from wanting to having. Let it permeate every aspect of your prayer and your life. So one of the greatest challenges in prayer is releasing the need for control. The human mind often seeks to dictate the how and when of manifestation, but this is not your role. Your role is to assume the feeling of the end, to live in the joy and peace of your fulfilled prayer. The details are not your concern. They are the domain of the unseen power that orchestrates all things. Trust in this power. Let go of the need to manipulate circumstances and focus instead on maintaining your inner state. In doing so, you create the space for miracles to occur. The act of prayer transforms not only your outer reality but your inner being. As you embody the state of your fulfilled desire, you become a new person. Old habits, beliefs, and limitations fall away, replaced by a sense of possibility and empowerment. Prayer is not just about receiving what you desire. It is about becoming the person who already has it. This transformation is the true gift of prayer, a gift that no external circumstance can take away. To trust the universe is to recognize that life is not random, chaotic, or against you. It is to understand that a divine intelligence is always at work, orchestrating events in your favor, even when appearances suggest otherwise. The essence of this trust begins within you, for the universe is not something external or distant. It is an extension of your very being, a mirror reflecting the deepest beliefs and feelings you hold. What you experience in life is never by chance. Every circumstance, every encounter, every moment unfolds from the inner conversations you entertain. You may look at your current situation and wonder why things seem delayed or out of reach. But I tell you, the universe is never late. It operates with perfect precision, aligning what you need, when you need it, in ways you often cannot foresee. The key is to rest in the knowing that your desires are already fulfilled. The moment you ask, it is given. The challenge lies not in the giving, but in your ability to receive. Doubt, fear, and impatience are the barriers that block the flow. But when you release these, when you surrender to the truth that the universe always delivers, you unlock the infinite potential within you. Let your imagination become your guide, for it is the creative power through which the universe moves. When you see yourself as already having, already being, already experiencing that which you desire, you set a divine process into motion. Do not question how or when it will come. Do not attempt to control the unfolding. Trust the unseen, for it is in the unseen that all things are born. The universe responds to faith, not force. To trust is to rest in the certainty that what you desire is already yours. Feel it, live it, breathe it, and the universe will arrange itself around your vision. There is no need to plead, no need to struggle. Simply align yourself with the truth of what you wish to experience, and life will rise to meet you. The beauty of this process is that it is effortless. The same energy that causes the sun to rise and the stars to shine flows through you. It knows no limits, no obstacles, no lack. It is always working on your behalf, bringing to you the people, opportunities, and circumstances you require. Your only task is to remain faithful to the vision you hold within. So trust the universe. Trust that it knows what you need even before you do. Trust that it will bring you not just what you want, but what is best for your highest good. When you align yourself with this trust, you will find that life becomes a dance of synchronicity, a perfect unfolding of everything you have ever desired. To continue trusting the universe, you must understand the profound nature of who you are. You are not separate from the source that creates all things. This is the great truth, often forgotten in the midst of life's challenges. You are both the creator and the receiver, the dreamer and the dream. The universe does not exist outside of you, it flows through you, reflecting back every belief you hold, whether consciously or unconsciously. When you recognize this, you stop waiting for external conditions to validate your desires. You stop looking to the world to give you permission to feel joy, peace, or abundance. Instead, you claim these feelings now, knowing they are the seeds from which your reality grows. The world is only the shadow cast by the light of your inner state. To trust the universe is to trust yourself, for the two are one and the same. Many struggle with this idea because they are bound by the evidence of their senses. They see only what is before them and assume that is all there is. But your senses are limited, they report only what has already been created. They are not the creators themselves. To trust the universe, you must go beyond the surface, beyond what your eyes see, and listen to the quiet knowing within you. That knowing whispers, "It is already done." Doubt will try to creep in, for the mind is conditioned to question and fear. It seeks logic and certainty in the external world. But the path of trust requires a different kind of certainty, a certainty that comes from the heart, not the head. It is a certainty that does not demand proof, because it knows the proof will appear in time. This is the essence of faith, to believe in what you cannot yet see, to hold steadfastly to your vision, even when the world seems to say otherwise. The universe operates in perfect harmony, and your role is to align yourself with its rhythm. This alignment is not achieved through effort or struggle, but through surrender. To surrender does not mean to give up, it means to release your grip on how you think things should unfold. It means to let go of the need to control every detail and to trust that the infinite intelligence of the universe knows the way far better than you ever could. When you trust the universe, you begin to see life differently. Every challenge becomes an opportunity, every delay a blessing in disguise. You realize that even when things do not go according to your plan, they are still unfolding for your highest good. The universe has a way of rearranging circumstances to bring about the best possible outcome, even if it doesn't look like it in the moment. Your task is to stay true to the vision in your heart, no matter what the outer world shows you. Feel the reality of your desire as though it is already here. Speak as though it is already yours. Walk through life with the quiet confidence of someone who knows that what they have imagined will come to pass. This is not arrogance, it is the natural state of someone who understands the creative power within them. The more you practice this, the more the universe will respond. You will begin to notice signs, small affirmations that you are on the right path. These signs are not coincidences, they are reflections of your inner state. They remind you that the universe is always working with you, always guiding you. Pay attention to these moments, for they are the breadcrumbs leading you toward your desire. Trusting the universe does not mean you will never face difficulties. Challenges are a natural part of the journey, but they are not here to punish or deter you. They are here to refine you, to help you grow into the person you need to be to receive what you desire. Every obstacle is an opportunity to strengthen your faith, to deepen your trust. When you face difficulties with the understanding that they are part of the process, you transform them into stepping stones rather than barriers. Patience is also a vital part of this trust. The universe operates on its own timing, which is often different from our own. You may want something to happen immediately, but the universe sees the bigger picture. It knows when the time is right. And it will not bring something into your life until you are truly ready to receive it. Trusting the universe means trusting its timing, knowing that everything will come to you at the perfect moment. As you cultivate this trust, you will notice a shift within you. Fear and anxiety begin to fade, replaced by a deep sense of peace. This peace is not dependent on external circumstances, it comes from knowing that you are always supported, always cared for. It is a peace that allows you to move through life with ease, no longer burdened by the need to control or force outcomes. This trust also opens the door to gratitude. When you trust the universe, you begin to see the beauty and abundance that is already present in your life. Gratitude is a powerful force. It amplifies your connection to the universe and accelerates the manifestation of your desires. When you are grateful for what you have, you send a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive more. To live in trust is to live in harmony with the flow of life. It is to recognize that you are not separate from the source of all creation, but an integral part of it. When you trust the universe, you step into your power as a co-creator, working in partnership with the infinite intelligence that governs all things. This partnership is not something you have to earn or prove, it is your birthright, a natural extension of who you are. Remember that trust is not something you achieve once and for all, it is a practice, a daily choice. Every moment offers you the opportunity to trust the universe or to fall back into doubt and fear. The more you choose trust, the stronger it becomes. Over time, it becomes your default state, a quiet certainty that carries you through all of life's ups and downs. Let go of the need to figure everything out. Let go of the need to know how or when your desires will manifest. Instead, focus on the feeling of already having what you want. Feel it with every fiber of your being, and let that feeling guide your thoughts and actions. The universe responds to your energy, not your words. When your energy aligns with your desire, the universe has no choice but to bring it into your reality. You are not a victim of circumstance, you are the architect of your life. The universe is your partner, your collaborator, always ready to bring your dreams to life. Trust it, lean into it, and allow it to show you the magic that is possible when you align with its flow. As you move forward, remember that the universe is always conspiring in your favor. Even in moments of doubt, even when things seem to go wrong, the universe is working behind the scenes, rearranging events and circumstances for your highest good. Trust this process. Trust yourself. Trust the infinite intelligence that guides all things. When you do, you will discover a life of ease, joy, and abundance beyond anything you could have imagined. The universe is ready. It has always been ready. The only question is, will you trust it enough to allow it to give you what you need? Trust is the bridge between your desire and its fulfillment. It is the quiet assurance that even when you cannot see the full path, each step is unfolding perfectly. The universe is vast, timeless, and infinitely intelligent. It holds all possibilities, all outcomes, and all answers. When you trust it completely, you release the tension that arises from trying to figure it all out on your own. You step into a flow where life becomes less about effort and more about alignment. This alignment begins with the way you think, feel, and believe. Many people trust the universe only when things are going well, but true trust is unwavering. It remains steady even when life presents challenges. Imagine planting a seed and then constantly digging it up to check if it's growing. The seed cannot thrive this way. Similarly, your trust must be unwavering. You must plant your intention and water it with faith, allowing time for it to grow and manifest. The process of trusting the universe is not passive. It requires you to act as though what you want is already yours. It demands that you live from the end, embodying the feelings, attitudes, and beliefs of someone who already has what they desire. This is not pretending, it is creating. You are reshaping your reality from the inside out, and the universe will respond to match this new vibration. Patience is often misunderstood. It does not mean waiting idly. It means trusting the process while staying actively engaged in your own growth. Each day offers you opportunities to refine your vision, align your energy, and deepen your trust. These small steps are powerful. They send a signal to the universe that you are ready to receive, not in desperation, but in confidence. Doubt is natural, but it must not be allowed to take root. When doubt arises, recognize it for what it is: a passing thought, a remnant of old conditioning. Do not fight it, for resistance only gives it strength. Instead, replace it with the feeling of trust. Reaffirm your belief in the unseen forces working on your behalf. The universe responds to your dominant state of being, so let trust be the foundation upon which you build your life. Everything in the universe operates on a principle of balance. When you give your trust, the universe gives you its support. It is an exchange, a partnership. But this partnership requires you to do your part. Your role is not to question how or when your desires will manifest. Your role is to believe so deeply that doubt has no space to exist. When you trust fully, the universe aligns with you in ways that are often miraculous. Think of the times in your life when things seem to fall into place effortlessly. Those moments were not accidents. They were the result of you being in harmony with the flow of life. You were not trying to control or force anything, you were simply allowing. This state of allowing is the purest form of trust. It is the recognition that the universe knows what you need and will provide it at the perfect time. But trusting the universe does not mean you will always get what you think you want. Sometimes the universe has something better in store for you, something your mind cannot yet comprehend. When things do not go according to your plan, it is easy to fall into frustration or disappointment. But these moments are invitations to trust even more deeply. They are reminders that the universe sees the bigger picture, and its plan is always for your highest good. To trust the universe is to embrace uncertainty. It is to let go of the need to know every detail and to rest in the assurance that everything is unfolding as it should. Uncertainty is not a void, it is a space of infinite potential. When you embrace it, you open yourself to possibilities that you could never have imagined. Your imagination is a powerful tool in this process. It is the gateway to creation, the means by which you communicate with the universe. When you imagine your desire as already fulfilled, you are not just daydreaming, you are planting the seeds of reality. The universe responds to the images and feelings you hold within you. So let your imagination be filled with the reality you wish to experience. Gratitude is another essential element. When you are grateful, you align yourself with the energy of abundance. Gratitude is not just about appreciating what you already have, it is about feeling thankful for what is on its way. When you express gratitude for your desires as though they are already fulfilled, you accelerate their manifestation. This is not a trick or a technique, it is a natural law of the universe. Trusting the universe also means trusting yourself. You are not separate from the forces that create worlds. The same power that moves the stars and shapes the tides flows through you. When you trust yourself, you align with this power. You begin to see yourself not as a small, insignificant being, but as a vital part of the cosmic dance. This shift in perspective changes everything. It is important to remember that trust is a practice. It is not something you achieve once and never think about again. Each day you are presented with opportunities to choose trust over fear, faith over doubt. These choices may seem small, but they are incredibly powerful. Over time they become habits, and those habits shape your reality. You may not always understand why things happen the way they do, but trust requires you to let go of the need for understanding. It requires you to release the need for control. This does not mean you stop caring or stop taking action. It means you act from a place of alignment rather than resistance. You do what you can, and then you release the rest to the universe. As you deepen your trust, you will begin to notice synchronicities, those moments when everything seems to click into place. These are not coincidences, they are the universe's way of showing you that you are on the right path. Pay attention to these signs, for they are affirmations of your alignment. They remind you that you are supported, that the universe is always working on your behalf. Life becomes easier when you trust the universe. You no longer feel the need to fight against the current. Instead, you flow with it, allowing it to carry you to your destination. This does not mean you will never face challenges, but even those challenges will feel different. They will no longer seem like obstacles, they will feel like stepping stones, each one bringing you closer to where you want to be. To trust the universe is to live in harmony with the flow of life. It is to recognize that you are never alone, never unsupported. Even in your darkest moments, the universe is there, guiding you, loving you, providing for you. When you trust this truth, you tap into a source of strength and peace that cannot be shaken. The universe is always listening. It hears every thought, every desire, every fear. It does not judge or discriminate, it simply responds to the energy you emit. When you trust it fully, your energy becomes a magnet for the things you desire. You do not have to chase or strive, you simply attract. In trusting the universe, you find freedom. Freedom from worry, freedom from doubt, freedom from the need to control. You realize that life is not something happening to you, but something happening through you. You are both the creator and the created, the dreamer and the dream. Trust is the foundation of this truth. It is the bridge that connects your desires to their fulfillment, your dreams to their manifestation. And as you walk this bridge, you discover that the journey itself is just as beautiful as the destination. The universe is ready to give you everything you need. All it asks is that you trust. Trusting the universe is not merely a passive act, but a profound declaration of your faith in the unseen power that orchestrates all things. It is a choice to live with courage, knowing that every challenge, delay, or redirection is part of a divine plan unfolding perfectly for your highest good. When you let go of fear, doubt, and the need to control, you step into a partnership with the Infinite One that is boundless in love, wisdom, and abundance. The universe has never abandoned you, and it never will. It hears your desires, feels your faith, and aligns its vast forces to bring you what you need at the perfect time. Trust is the key that unlocks this partnership, allowing you to rest in the assurance that you are supported beyond measure. So stand firm in your faith. Walk boldly in the knowing that what is meant for you will always find its way to you. Release the struggle, embrace the flow, and let the universe surprise you in ways you never imagined. You are worthy, you are guided, and you are destined for greatness. Trust and watch as the universe delivers everything you need and more. To continue trusting the unseen is to understand that the external world is but a reflection of your internal state. You must remember again and again that what you see with your eyes is only the result of what you have already imagined and believed. It is not the cause, it is the effect. Therefore, the circumstances of your life are not set in stone, they are malleable, like clay, waiting for you to reshape them through the power of your faith and trust. When you trust the process, you affirm that creation begins within. You cease to react to the outer world and instead focus your energy inward. This is where your true power lies. You are not here to be at the mercy of the external, you are here to master it by mastering yourself. The universe, in its infinite intelligence, responds to the energy you radiate from within. Trust is the signal you send, the vibration that sets everything into motion. Doubt, fear, and worry are the barriers that block the flow of this creative process. They are illusions, temporary visitors that have no real power unless you feed them with your attention. When doubt whispers in your mind, it is simply a test. It is an opportunity to reaffirm your faith and strengthen your trust. Each time you choose to trust over fear, you deepen your connection with the infinite. And this connection is what brings forth miracles. You are never waiting for the universe to act, it is always waiting on you. Your trust signals your readiness. When you fully believe that what you desire is already yours, you align yourself with its reality. This alignment is what allows the universe to deliver it to you effortlessly. Your work is not to question how or when it will come, but to rest in the knowing that it will. The power of imagination is central to this trust. When you close your eyes and see your desire is already fulfilled, you are not pretending, you are creating. The mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. When you feel the joy, gratitude, and peace of having already received your desire, the universe begins to shape itself to reflect that state. Trust this process, for it is as certain as the rising of the sun. Affirmations, too, is an act of trust. It is the quiet confidence that even if you cannot see the full picture now, each piece is falling into place. Trust does not rush, nor does it doubt in moments of silence. It remains steadfast, knowing that the unseen is always more powerful than the seen. The universe does not operate on human timelines, yet it is always precise, always perfect. You may not understand the events that unfold, but trust requires no explanation. There are times when what seems like a delay or setback is actually a redirection towards something greater. When a door closes, it is not a punishment, but a gift, guiding you to a path more aligned with your highest good. Trust allows you to release the need to control and opens you to the infinite possibilities that await. Gratitude plays a vital role in this trust. When you are grateful, you affirm your belief in the universe's ability to provide. Gratitude is not just a reaction to receiving it, it is a declaration of faith that what you desire is already on its way. It is a powerful signal to the universe that you are ready and willing to receive. Feel gratitude not only for what you have, but for what is coming. This shift in energy creates a magnetic pull that draws your desires to you. Living in trust means embodying the feeling of already having what you want. It means walking through life with a quiet assurance that all is well. This does not mean you ignore reality, but that you choose to see beyond it. You acknowledge the current circumstances without being bound by them, for you know they are temporary. Trust allows you to move through life with grace, unshaken by the ups and downs of the external world. The signs will come. When you trust fully, the universe will send you glimpses of what is to come. These synchronicities, those moments that seem too perfect to be coincidence, are the universe's way of showing you that you are on the right path. Do not dismiss them as chance, embrace them as confirmation. They are the breadcrumbs that lead you toward the fulfillment of your desires. Your journey is unique. Do not compare your path to others, for the universe works with each of us in its own way. Trust that your timing is perfect, even if it does not align with the timing of those around you. The comparison only breeds doubt, and doubt is the enemy of trust. Focus on your own journey and trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. There will be moments when trusting feels difficult, when the evidence of the external world seems to contradict your inner vision. These are the moments that test your faith the most. Remember that the universe's work often happens behind the scenes, beyond what the eyes can see. The trust is knowing that even when there is no visible sign, the forces of creation are moving mountains on your behalf. You are not separate from the universe, you are a part of it. The same energy that creates stars and moves oceans flows through you. When you trust the universe, you are really trusting yourself, your higher self, the part of you that is connected to the infinite. This is where your power lies, in recognizing that you and the universe are one. Trust transforms not only your desires but your entire life. It frees you from the burden of worry and the weight of doubt. It allows you to live with peace, joy, and a sense of purpose. When you trust, you align with the flow of life, and this alignment brings clarity, ease, and fulfillment. No matter where you are on your journey, it is never too late to trust. Even if doubt has ruled your life until now, you can choose trust in this moment. The universe does not hold grudges, it responds instantly to your change in energy. The moment you trust, you set a new course, and the universe begins to align with your desires. Let this trust be your foundation, the unshakable truth upon which you build your life. Let it guide you through every decision, every challenge, and every opportunity. When you trust, you open yourself to the infinite possibilities that the universe holds for you. Trust is the ultimate act of faith, the bridge between the seen and the unseen. It is the quiet knowing that everything you need is already yours, waiting for you to align with it. As you trust, you step into your power as a creator, shaping your reality with the certainty that the universe is always working for your highest good. You are the architect of your life, and trust is your greatest tool. With it, you can move mountains, overcome obstacles, and manifest the life of your dreams. The universe is ready to give you all that you desire and more. All it asks is that you believe. Trust and let the magic unfold. Trust is the thread that weaves together the infinite possibilities of creation. It is the foundation upon which miracles are built. When you embody trust, you step into a state of harmony with the universe, and that harmony ripples outward, shaping the world around you. Every thought, every feeling, every intention becomes infused with the energy of creation. You are not just a passive observer in this grand design, you are an active participant, a co-creator with the infinite. Doubt and fear lose their power in the presence of unwavering trust. These emotions, while natural, are fleeting illusions. They do not define you unless you allow them to. Trust invites you to rise above them, to see them for what they are, a call to deepen your faith, a reminder to anchor yourself in the knowing that the universe is always conspiring in your favor. When you trust, you no longer fight against the current of life. Instead, you flow with it, confident that it will carry you to the shores of your dreams. There is immense freedom in trust. It frees you from the need to control, from the anxiety of trying to force outcomes. Control is an illusion, a futile attempt to manage the infinite complexity of life with the limited tools of the ego. But trust transcends the ego. It connects you to a higher power, a force that sees the bigger picture, that knows the perfect timing and sequence of events. When you trust, you step into alignment with this higher power, and in that alignment, all things become possible. Every challenge you face is an invitation to trust. When the path seems unclear, when the obstacles seem insurmountable, that is when trust becomes your greatest ally. It is easy to trust when everything is going smoothly, but true trust is forged in the fire of uncertainty. It is in those moments of doubt and difficulty that you have the opportunity to deepen your faith, to declare to the universe that you believe in its power to guide you through. The universe never abandons you, even in your darkest hours. Its presence is constant, its love unwavering. When you feel lost, when you question whether you are on the right path, trust serves as your compass, pointing you back to the truth. And the truth is this: you are never alone. The universe is always working behind the scenes, orchestrating events in ways that may not be immediately visible to you. Trust allows you to rest in the assurance that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even when it doesn't appear that way. To trust the universe is to embrace its wisdom. It knows what you need even before you do. Often we think we know what is best for us, but our perspective is limited. The universe, with its infinite intelligence, sees beyond what we can comprehend. It delivers not what we think we want, but what we truly need. Trust means surrendering to this wisdom, letting go of the need to understand every detail and instead embracing the mystery of the unfolding. Gratitude amplifies trust. When you are grateful even for the things you cannot yet see, you affirm your belief in the abundance of the universe. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from fear to love. It creates a vibrational match between you and your desires, drawing them closer to you. Practice gratitude daily, not just for what you have, but for what is coming, for the blessings that are on their way. This act of faith sends a powerful message to the universe, a declaration that you trust its timing and its plan. Trust is not passive, it is active. It requires you to align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the belief that what you desire, it is already yours. This alignment is not about forcing or striving, it is about embodying the state of being that matches your desire. When you trust, you act as though your prayers have already been answered. You make decisions from a place of confidence and certainty, knowing that the universe is working in your favor. The signs of the universe are everywhere, guiding you, reassuring you. These signs may come as synchronicities, as moments of serendipity that feel too perfect to be coincidence. They may come as intuitive nudges, as a sense of knowing that defies logic. Pay attention to these signs, for they are the universe's way of communicating with you. Trust that these signs are not random, they are purposeful, leading you closer to your desires. Let trust be your anchor in the storms of life. When the winds of doubt blow and the waves of fear rise, hold fast to the knowledge that the universe is your constant. It is unchanging, unwavering, and always working for your highest good. The storms are temporary, but the power of the universe is eternal. Trust allows you to navigate these storms with grace and resilience, knowing that they are but a passing phase. Trust transforms your relationship with time. It teaches you that there is no need to rush, no need to force outcomes. The universe operates on its own timeline, one that is always perfect. When you trust, you release the need to hurry and instead embrace the present moment. You understand that each moment is a step toward the fulfillment of your desires, that there is value in the journey as well as the destination. To trust is to live in alignment with your highest self. It is to recognize that you are a powerful being, capable of creating your reality through the energy you emit. The universe responds to this energy, not to your words or actions alone. Trust means embodying the energy of faith, of certainty, of gratitude. It means living as though your desires are already yours, for in truth they are. As you trust, you begin to see the magic of the universe unfold in your life. Opportunities arise, doors open, and the path becomes clear. This is not coincidence, it is the natural result of your alignment with the infinite. Trust is the key that unlocks this flow, the bridge between your desires and their manifestation. Let this trust guide you in all that you do. Let it be the foundation of your thoughts, the source of your strength, and the light that leads you forward. Trust in the unseen, in the infinite power of the universe to provide, to protect, and to bless you beyond measure. You are not separate from this power, you are one with it. Trust is the greatest gift you can give yourself. It frees you from fear, liberates you from doubt, and connects you to the infinite possibilities of creation. When you trust, you step into your power as a creator, a co-architect of your destiny. The universe is ready to give you all that you desire and more. Trust and let its infinite love and wisdom guide you. The journey of trust is a journey back to yourself, to the truth of who you are. You are not a victim of circumstance, you are a creator of worlds. Trust in the universe, trust in its timing, and trust in the boundless power that resides within you. The universe is on your side always and forever. Let this truth fill you with peace, with joy, and with unwavering faith. Trust and watch as your life transforms in ways beyond your wildest imagination.